Welcome to Week 8 of Walk the Plank, the Perry Athletic Department podcast that will take a deep dive into the week that was Perry Athletics and a little bit of look into the following week or the rest of the events for this week to come. I'm joined by my co-host, as always, Gene Winters. Thanks for being here, Gene.
Yeah, another exciting week, and more playoffs are starting and continuing on for the Pirates.
Yeah, it's, we've got several sports that have wrapped their seasons up. We'll put a bow on those here and highlight those, but we have most of our programs right now are in the hunt for continuing on with their season. So we're at the point where sectionals and districts, CVC championships for some sports were this past weekend. So we'll take a good hard look at all of that. But we'll start things off with our boys soccer coach here at Perry High School, Coach Tanish, Candy Tanish. Welcome to the program. Thanks for being here, Coach, taking some time today to talk about boys soccer.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So we are shooting this on a Wednesday. It's Wednesday morning. Our boys soccer team plays tonight. We are in a sectional final game out at Beechwood High School. We have a 7 p.m. start at Beechwood tonight. Tell us, we'll start sort of here at the Beechwood match and we'll work our way back and sort of highlight the season.
Sure.
But what do we know about the Beechwood Bison, and what are we looking for as far as our game this evening? Sorry, my phone's going.
That's right. Beechwood's pretty disciplined.
Yeah.
And so we've done a lot of tape studying this weekend, kind of just identifying some patterns so that we can recognize them and hopefully be able to diffuse them a little bit. So that's what our focus will be for tonight against Beechwood.
And as you're watching tape, do you talk to other coaches that have played Beechwood, or do you just kind of form your own plan after watching the film and finding what targets or who you need to kind of make your offense or defensive schemes for?
Yeah, so last week I did speak with Madison because they played Beechwood and got some kind of thoughts from them. But mostly it was just watching tapes and watching their games against other teams, and then knowing how we played against those teams that played them, and just kind of putting it all together.
And what's the one thing that you've noticed? What do they do well? Where do you think you guys have maybe an advantage?
They use 3 people specifically, number 4, number 7, and number 15. So we have a map for those players, and we're working through that. So, and then they also, their center is very, they have a lot of people playing in the center, so it kind of obstructs you from being able to do something. So we've made some formation switches and position switches, and hopefully that will be beneficial as well.
And so for us to win tonight, I guess if you finish this sentence, for the Pirates to win tonight, blank needs to happen. What do we need to do to move on into this OHSA postseason tournament and make it to the district semis?
We need to have energy and pass.
Okay.
The ball. It's give and goes. When we pass well is when we play well. And when we don't pass well is when it doesn't work out for us.
Well, and that it's sort of been a season of streaks, right? I mean, it's a lot of sports are this way when you look at it. We started the year 2-1, went on a bit of a losing streak there in the middle of the season, but then 3-4 overall to finish the season. And we do play an extremely tough schedule. Your athletic director didn't give you much help here in CVC play specifically. I mean, we're playing Orange and West G and Hawken and Chagrin Falls and schools like that in that Chagrin division of soccer. And it's sort of been that way with other sports as well, tennis and golf. Same thing, sort of a broken record. Those are the teams that are in our division this year. But that said, that streakiness of a season, so sort of that roller coaster. What of our we have 5 seniors that have sort of, we always look to our seniors to lead our program. What of those? What has that group meant to us this year?
So we have a lot of leadership with the seniors and good attitude, which is humongous for any culture of a team.
Yeah.
So our seniors actually make up our defensive line, our entire defensive line.
Yeah.
So that alone is huge, and so that's Chancewell, Jace, and and Luke. And then we have Aaron Romo, who will go in any position with a big smile on his face and work
Right.
real hard for you.
Right.
And that has been wonderful as well. This group of seniors feels pretty special, just with their leadership and their camaraderie and what they want to do for the team.
And as this roller coaster that TJ just talked about, how do you break down your season? Do you look at it like, first 6 games, make an assessment first, whatever? How do you look at your season overall?
Yeah, so we started strong, and even like the spectators were like, what is going on and what did you do? And there was a lot of studying of tapes and figuring out, hey, we need to pass the ball more. Like, I mean, I know that sounds obvious, but that's a real thing. So maintaining possession and ensuring that we do give and goes and we have string passing, like that is critical. And we were doing that until we started playing the difficult teams, and then we started losing, and then we get in our heads, and then we just play kickball is kind of essentially what happens. And we forget the fundamentals, the things that makes us be successful. And so it's just so that's how I break it out. And it is really hard when you have a good team and you're playing a team, teams of different calibers. And when you lose, it's just hard to get out of that mental state sometimes.
Yeah. And let's just talk a little bit. I always like to try to give a little peek behind the curtain, so to speak. So from a film perspective, you mentioned that we have a huddle system, it's called. It's our camera that films all of our games, and we're able to go back and watch. And how helpful is it to you guys? Some teams use it, some teams don't. But I think we're seeing more and more. It used to be, back in the day, it was a football only, and then basketball started using it more. And now our volleyball, we're going to have volleyball coach on next week. They use it a lot. Boys soccer's using it a lot. How does that help you teach and sort of get your game plan across to our players when you're using the film?
Yeah, I think there's definitely more opportunity to use it. I'm in it like every day for hours a day. Just not enough time in the day to do all the things. But it allows for us to be able to see the mistakes, the recurring mistakes, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you're able to call out the trend, and then you're also able to point out, here's what we did well, and you can visibly see it. But I think oftentimes it's hard for kids at this age to really actually reflect and see the opportunity that they have of this tool to be able to do it and go evaluate and use it for yourself every day. So next year I'd like to see the individuals do that more.
Yeah,
and
watch on their own, 'cause that is a component of it, right? We've got that where they can watch film on their own on their laptop and things like that. It's really a cool system. It's great.
It is.
And it gives us a nice little advantage when it's used the right way.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it, because obviously doing what I do, you see that all the time. I mean, film is a big part of success for teams, for individual players, and to have that asset, once they realize it, it could be a game changer for this team. So as you watch and prepare and continue to get ready, with a week off, does anything change this week? I mean, you played Madison last week. Do you ramp up with more scrimmages, or just kind of continue to work on your basics and your game plan for Beechwood?
Yeah, it was fundamental. So so our last game was Wednesday. There's football game Thursday, and then ball week. So we didn't really actually have like
a week
days
off, right? Yeah.
So we just came in, and so that's where. So Sunday was my focus on watching the tapes, and then I have a parent that's helping with watching the tapes, which is helpful. And so we met on Sunday, and then I came with practice ideas on Monday, and then we just applied those. So that's what we did the last 2 days.
And we kind of touched on it before we started taping, but do you go back to last year and the playoff game last year? Do you change your preparation for this, like something that you may have learned last year that you kind of tweaked this year to get your team ready for tonight?
So no, but last year's game was phenomenal and amazing.
Yeah.
It was a bummer that we lost.
Double overtime loss
yes.
to Ravenna, but I was there. It was, cold or rain or both, if I'm not mistaken. So we lose 2-1, but it was an exciting game. It was a very well played match. So we're just hoping for some similar results tonight. Not from a loss standpoint, but a good exciting game, good quality matchup. We know Beechwood's going to be strong. But at the same time, I think we can come out and do it. I'm excited to watch you guys.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
The last thing I have, when you go back to, look where you were at in August, first practice to where you guys are now, what has been the biggest improvement or, the thing you're most proud of heading into tonight?
It is knowing that our capabilities of maintaining possession of the ball and passing. Like if we go in intense and that is our focus and we execute, that will be tremendous for us. That's what I'm looking forward to.
All right. Coach Tanish, thanks again for
Thank
taking the
you.
time.
Thank
Good
you
luck
so
tonight
much.
as we take on Beechwood in a sectional final, 7 p.m. Start time. And come on out and support the team, and we'll keep everybody updated.
Sounds great.
All
Thank
right.
you so
Thank
much.
you, Coach Tanish, very much. We're going to keep the soccer train going. We're just going to switch out.
Okay.
You and our male athlete of the week. We'll keep our soccer theme going here for the day. And we're going to bring up Drew Tanish. He is our male athlete of the week. Come on up, Drew. Welcome to the show. You get your free Dairy Queen meal deal here. You get a Blizzard and a free meal deal. So, again, thanks to Dairy Queen, as always, for supporting our Athlete of the Week program. Drew, congratulations being our Athlete of the Week here. Just tell us a little bit about your background, soccer. What position do you play? What's your role in the team? You're a captain on the team. But let's just get into a little bit of background on you and what you do for Bora Boys soccer team.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been playing soccer for a while, pretty much. I played rec at Perry.
Okay.
Played club for probably a good 8 years right now.
Okay.
I'm center mid. They're moving me up to more of an attacking center mid this year, though.
Okay.
So got to adjust to that. I don't know. I don't think I'm as big of a leader as the seniors, but I
Okay.
try to reiterate what the coaches say.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, that's it. Being a captain, on the field, you want to be an extension of the coach, and I think that obviously sometimes it's hard to be captain as an underclassman, but I think you filled the role very well, and you do a great job in that. And again, it's just sort of being that coach on the field. That role is an important one. What club do you play for? Are you still playing?
I currently play for Force,
Okay.
Cleveland Force.
Yep.
Right now we're in the off season though. But,
Right.
Yeah.
And that'll start up here pretty soon, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
first
there's not
practice.
much time off. Our season's going to end whenever it ends. Hopefully it's not tonight, but when it does, I know the club season is like a couple of days later, seems
Yeah,
like, right? So
yeah.
you'd be all over the place again.
So you mentioned being more of a aggressive center or mid this year. What does that mean? What was different from last year? What does the aggressive part mean?
Well, last year I played more of a box-to-box midfielder, so I was active on offense and defense. And this year they're just putting me up higher, so that means my role is more like attacking, so I'll take more shots. I'll pass a little more. My focus is on offense, so I don't have to drop as much or as far. I'm just not that active on defense, but yeah.
So has that kind of maybe kept you more fresh this season? Not as much running. I'm sure you're doing plenty of running, but maybe not as much as last year.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy not having to run that much, but yeah.
And so last week was our big rivalry match with Madison. Didn't go the way we wanted, but the first half we played extremely well. Madison is a talented team. They've had a very strong program for a long period of time. I know in talking to the coaches, there's some equivalence to Madison and Beechwood, and they played recently. So we're trying to tie all that together. Even though it didn't go our way, again, the first half was really well played on our side. And what was the difference in the halves, or what really helped us play that well in that first half last week in Madison? Because it was 1-0 game, and we were right in that thing.
I think we kind of we're sticking with what our coaches had told us to do.
Mm-hmm.
We were a little fresher. I think in the second half we got a lot more fatigued, a little
Yep.
sloppy. I think we reverted back to some bad habits, like as coach was talking about earlier, we weren't passing as much.
Yeah,
We were trying to take people on 1v1, which is something we could probably improve on.
sure. Well, it was a fun game to watch, and like I said, it didn't go our way. But I don't think there's Madison, again, strong program. Beechwood, strong program. I think we can put a full 80 minutes together. We'll be right in this thing tonight.
And for you, after watching tape and getting ready for Beechwood, what what do you see on film? What are, some of the things that you guys have to take advantage of?
Well, coach just talked
Yeah.
about this. They play around 3 central players. I played with one of them. He's pretty talented. So I don't know. We just got to try and stay aware, keep our head in the game, as
Yeah.
they say.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah.
being a scorer on this team, when you're watching film, are you looking at maybe trends on their defense, some spots that you can find holes into to attack and score?
Yeah, they often try to force everybody to the center of the field, so I just have to stay wide. I think I could probably take on their outside backs 1v1, so just have to do that.
Who's up in the front with you? Who are the other scorers? Who are you running with?
Cooper Schlau, I think, Colton Christinger, Landon Avery, Aaron Romo, some subs, but yeah.
And where do you think you're a junior? So you've been this is your 3rd season with us, the varsity. Where has your game grown the most from that freshman year to now? You're sitting here, junior, end of your junior year. You're a captain on this team, a leader on this team. Where's your game grown the most?
Obviously, physically, I've grown a little
Sure,
bit. So
that helps.
I would say that's probably my biggest improvement,
Okay.
as well as confidence.
Okay.
How do you gain that confidence? Is it just playing time? Is it something that maybe techniques or something mentally that you've tried to adjust from last year or even your freshman year to now?
Yeah, I think just playing more in general and training a lot gives you something to rely on when you're like nervous or not as confident. And then I think having this age to help me, like I'm the 2nd oldest grad year that's currently playing soccer, like just gives me something that I can look forward to.
And let's talk a little bit of game day routine. I'm always curious on how our athletes, because everybody's so different. There's no right way or wrong way to sort of get ready for a game tonight. So we play at 7 o'clock. I'm assuming our bus is leaving around 5 p.m. What are you doing after school to get mentally prepared for tonight? Do you have a routine? You just sort of wing it, go however you're feeling for the day, or what do you do to get ready to play?
I like to take naps.
Okay,
But
right.
sometimes it's hard being a student.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, pretty much just taking naps and
Just relaxing, getting ready. That's it. Rest is not a bad thing. You'll be moving quite a bit. If you had a watch on, you'd probably be around 20,000 steps by the end of tonight. So
Yeah.
rest is not a bad thing.
So are you an instant fall asleep?
Oh.
I love naps.
Yeah.
I'm in that 2 minutes, I'm out.
Yeah.
It could be 15 minutes to an hour. They all feel the same.
Yeah, I don't know. Recently, it's been a little harder to fall asleep, so I have to limit the amount of time that I'm sleeping. Yeah.
Keep it going. Keep it. I mean, I've done it for years, and it's great. Once
yeah.
you find that routine, naps are the best thing.
Yeah. I
All
agree.
right. Well, good luck with your nap after school today,
Thank you,
and good
thank
luck
you.
tonight as we take on the Beechwood Bison. Before we get you out of here, Drew, just a couple of questions, like get to know you questions, a little, again, deeper dive, be sort of behind the scenes. What is your favorite food?
That's pretty difficult.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna go basic and say like pizza or something.
Pizza, okay. Any particular, if it is pizza, do you have one favorite? There's so many options out there in the pizza world, but do you have a favorite?
Barbecue chicken
Okay.
from Stonegate.
From Stonegate.
Yeah.
Wow, very good. I like that. That's a new answer,
Yes.
too, so it's not the same. Favorite subject in school?
Probably science.
Science, all right. Favorite movie, or if not a movie, a television show or series?
30 Rock.
30 Rock, old school.
Yes.
John Lithgow. Any hobbies? You've talked, you're a big-time soccer player. You've got club coming up as soon as our season's complete here. What do you do outside of the soccer world or anything athletically, hobby-wise?
I don't know. I'd say I'm a pretty plain guy.
Okay.
Probably video games.
Yeah, hang with friends and some video games.
Yeah.
Mr. Winters added this question. He's looking for new apps on his phone. So your favorite app or game on your iPhone or whatever phone you have.
Probably Clash Royale.
Okay,
Clash
that's
Royale.
been
It's been,
yeah.
you got to download that.
yes, it's coming.
Okay.
I'll do it today.
Okay. Favorite memory from Perry, and we used to say athletically, we used to say what's your favorite memory, but now, so you've been here, your entire career, you're a junior, so you've got another year and a half here before you graduate, but as you get to leave Perry and move on onto college or whatever you're going to do after graduation, what are some of your favorite memories that you're going to take away from Perry here as you get to that point?
I think my freshman soccer year.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good year. We had a lot of good people. Actually, the Dairy Queen had like a free cone day.
Oh, okay.
And like a group of 30 kids went to Dairy Queen during ice and just got
Got
ice
cones.
cream. Yeah.
All right. That's fun stuff. Good. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Visit any place in the world, Drew. Money's not an object. Where are you heading?
Oh, we watched World Cup qualifiers the other day, and there's this place called like Faroe Islands or something.
Okay. The Faroe Islands.
It looks awesome.
All right.
So just check that out.
I'll have to check that out. I've heard of them, but I have no idea where they're at in the world, but I'll look it up.
Yeah.
All right, Drew, congratulations being our male athlete of the week. Best of luck tonight at Beechwood.
Thanks for
and
having
we'll be
me.
rooting you on. Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you. Yeah.
Yep. Don't forget your certificate.
All right, so
All right, boys soccer off and rolling here at Beechwood tonight, 7 p.m.
For people going tonight,
Yes.
obviously it's a playoff event, so tickets, like all events, are required, but can they
They are.
purchase ahead of time?
Yep, they can online. Everywhere in the state of Ohio has to accept cash if you're a school. So the exception of that is somewhere like Spire, where they don't technically have to accept cash. But there is a state law out there. If you're going to a high school athletic event, you can always pay cash. We'll talk about this here in a little bit, but we were at Beechwood last night
Right.
for a girls match. I can tell you they will take cash and card at the gate. You can buy them online in advance. You do have to pay a fee. So I would never recommend necessarily buying in advance when you can buy at the door and save a couple of bucks on the ticket fees. But yes, that's the thing that some people forget when it's an OHSAA event. There are no passes. There are no anything, for senior citizens either.
Right.
The Golden Buckeye thing is usually available in this neck of the woods, so to speak. It was funny. We went to Youngstown for a soccer match last weekend, and they do not let their seniors in for free.
Oh,
Full price, $8 for a senior citizen, and it threw some people off killed her a little bit, and I didn't know that, so I had to apologize to a couple of them. Like, I didn't know that was a rule. Apparently in Youngstown, they don't take care of their seniors in terms of getting in free to athletic events anyway. So,
I mean, when you grow up in that kind of
yeah.
a neighborhood,
Yeah,
with their
yeah.
history, maybe that's part of it.
Maybe they need a little bit
Maybe,
more money
yeah.
down there. I don't know, but it was a little bit of a shock. But yeah, they can buy their tickets at the gate tonight. So I'd recommend people come on out and support the soccer team tonight. We're going to get our volleyball team will be in action here at home tomorrow. They will take on Lutheran East at 7 p.m. We are a host of another match prior to that at 5 p.m. So we've got a busy couple of days at Beechwood tonight for boys soccer, sectional final. Sectional finals for volleyball will be here at Perry, 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Tomorrow. And volleyball is on a roll right now.
Yes.
They're back-to-back CVC champions and have a really nice draw, a really nice setup to make a deep run as far as the district level goes. If we win tomorrow, we'll find out if we're hosting or if we're traveling. But next Monday and Wednesday will be the district semis and the district finals, and we've got a very good shot to be competitive in both of those matches as well.
Yeah, and volleyball kind of in the same boat as soccer that we just talked about, off for a week from their last game to their playoff game coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
So a lot of practice and a lot of prep to get ready for tomorrow night's game.
Yeah, 16-6 on the year for volleyball, 10-0 in the CVC, and they're sort of chomping at the bit. Last week, we'll have Coach Raga on next week, and I know we'll talk about sort of our early season exit last year in the district semis, favored to win that match, and it didn't go our way. And what we have learned from that, and how we've come back stronger. And again, I think we're going to be poised and ready to go here for a little bit deeper run this year.
Yeah, and we could dive into it with Coach next
Yeah.
week. But plenty of players that are scattered across the News Herald leaderboard for many different categories. So again, it's a team that looks to continue to grow upon the last year and make that deep playoff run.
Yeah, Tatum Christian and Jaden Newsom both lead the area in digs, or they're on that News Herald list. Kendra Conrad and Aubrey Santor for assists, and Kendra is on the right on the cusp of getting 1,000 assists for her career. So that does not happen very often. I would equate it to somebody scoring 1,000 points in basketball. You have to have done that for a long time to get 1,000 assists as a setter. So hats off to her. She's not there yet. She's close, which is pretty cool. Emily Meckenbauer in kills and blocks. And then we've got like 5 or 6 of them with aces in terms of serving. So a very talented group of young ladies, and we're looking forward to their postseason run here. It should be fun.
Yeah, and let's backtrack a little bit to cross country. I know you were talking with Coach on our way down here today, but a great showing last week in the CVCs.
Yeah, girls finished 3rd overall. A very strong showing from them. Hazel Cannon finished 5th. Kate Farrell was 11th, and Anna Hope was 14th. So that led our charge into that 3rd place finish at the Chagrin Valley Conference Championships. Those were at Geneva this year. They will participate, as will our boys, and we'll get to them here momentarily, but they will be there on Saturday. 11:45 a.m. our girls run at Madison High School, so right down the street is where our district is located. Very nice to be so close, so always encourage people to go out. It's right down the street. A little tidbit, you really don't have to pay to get in there if you know where to park off of Middle Ridge. If you park at the library and sort of walk in the back door, you don't even have to pay to get in. So go down and support them. Our boys were led last week by Landon Rusnak. He finished 8th overall. He earned first team. Hazel was first team, and then Kate and Anna were second team, all CVC based on where they finished. So the boys will run at 12:30. So girls 11:45. We have a little bit of a break, and then the boys are up next at 12:30. I know Landon, obviously we had him on a few weeks ago. His goal is to make it to the regionals. He's set and ready to do that if he runs his race and gets his time where it needs to be. And then our girls have a shot to qualify as a team out to the regionals in Youngstown, Boardman. We'll see how things go, and where you're always leaderboard watching, if you will. You're looking at other teams and where their girls are finished, and you can sort of tell how the race is playing out. If they're in a big pack, then that team's probably going to go. So we're starting to watch that as the race concludes, and we'll have a good idea pretty quickly after that race is over if we're going to get to regionals as a team. But I know Hazel, Kate, and Anna for sure all have legitimate shots to get out as individuals if we don't get there as a team. But
yeah, so another exciting week coming up for cross country. And then, of course, football, 6-2 now on the season.
Yep.
Big win last week on Thursday, 49-13 over Harvey on senior night.
On senior night, so it's always great we honored our cheerleaders, our band members, and our football players on senior night. Did it a Thursday night game, a little bit different. We've not had one of those in quite some time. So that was unique and a little bit different. So we were a little concerned how would the team come out and how would they respond to being on a Thursday. Now, we didn't have school Friday, so it felt sort of like a Friday night, at least to me, and they came out and played very well. It was 35-0 at halftime and really shut down. Their running back is going to USC.
Right.
The USC, Southern California, and, used to be Tailback University, right? So he's a very talented individual. They've got 3 or 4, really, really strong players over there. But we shut them out in the first half. They got on the board a couple of times in the second half and sort of checked that box and moving on. This week we're at West Geauga, who's 5-3. And right now, Hawken is 7-1. They are a game next week. So I know the coaches, you hear the word probably overused, but trap game a little bit. We don't want to look ahead to Hawken too much, even though that's a huge game, and that will clinch the CVC. They're undefeated at the moment in the Chagrin Valley Conference, as are we. And so that will be a championship game. So we can't look ahead. West Geauga's got a new young coach in there. Coach Santo, who's from Kirtland. So they run pretty much everything that Kirtland runs, offensively, defensively, very similar. So we're going to sort of go back to some of our ideas, even though Kirtland got us this year. Right. We're going to see a lot of those things on the field Friday night. So I know they're repping those in practice and getting ready to go for the Wolverines at West Geauga this Friday. And then we're at Hawken to close out the regular season on the 24th, the following Friday night.
And the one thing that it seems like the whole community cares about right now is in 2 weeks and when the playoffs start, latest computer rankings came out on, I believe it was Tuesday. Perry now up to third in Region 13. So how does that play out again? I know we talked about it a couple of times, but how do the bye weeks work? How does the playoff schedule work if you finish in the top 4 or in the top 8?
This is going to be the first year that we only have 12 teams that make it instead of 16. So it's been 16 schools in the past, and you sort of one plays 16, two plays 15, and so on, and everybody's playing right at the start. With 12 teams, the top 4 schools earn a bye. And then schools in the 5 through 12 play each other, and then they move on to play the teams in 1st through 4th. So obviously, we'd like to have a bye. I think it's something where, we can take a week, not a week off, mind you, but a week to heal up a little bit. So a long regular season, 10 full games, and taking that week to sort of rejuvenate a little bit. That's the goal. If we beat West Geauga and beat Hawken, we will host. We will get a bye, and then we would host the following week. So the question I've been getting: are we going to have a game on Halloween? I don't know. We're going to need to beat these next 2 teams. If we do beat the next 2 teams, if we beat Hawken and West G, we will have a bye week, and we will not have a game on Halloween, and that's obviously our goal. There's projections out there. We'll finish either 1st or 2nd if we win the next 2 games. So I know, again, a lot on the line. CVC championship first and foremost. We want it. That's across the board in any sport that we have. We want to compete for CVC championship. So to get to play in a championship game the last week of the season is an honor to do that and to have earned that. But we got to take care of West G first, and then the playoffs after.
So if you missed it this week, I will ask TJ the same question next week again. So that way, if he has to cancel Halloween for the entire community, it's on him and nobody else.
Yes, exactly. I'll take full responsibility for that. We'll know on August 24th at 10 p.m. We'll shoot a mass email out. We'll have Mr. Kellogg send a Infinite Campus message. No, we'll find out soon enough, and we'll know. And hopefully we don't have to move Halloween. I have talked to the entities, North Perry, Perry Township, and Perry Village, and if we have to, I think they're just going to bump it to Saturday night. But I don't think that's going to have to happen if we take care of business on the football field.
And then the only other fall sport that is still playing and continuing on is girls soccer, and that was an amazing game last night. I couldn't get enough of going on X and trying to find all the clips and following you for updates, and then seeing some videos posted. It was an exciting night for the girls.
It was, and we'll call up our 2 athletes of the week here and they're both girls soccer players, but it was an exciting game for us last night out at Beechwood. Some back-to-back nights in Beechwood. And hopefully our boys can take some of the positive energy that we sort of took away from there last night. Our live stream link sort of gave way in the second half because I didn't charge the camera long enough, so I'll take responsibility for that one. But then we were trying to update everybody on Twitter, and we were sort of on pins and needles anytime you have an overtime game. So the way things work in the world of soccer, regular season-wise, if you tie, and we're going to talk to the girls here in a minute, we had plenty of ties throughout this season. The match is over and we're done, and there's no overtime, there's no shootout. It's just a tie. Last night, you have to have a winner, so we were tied 1-1 after the regulation after 80 minutes, and you play 15-minute overtime. If no one scores, you play another 15, and then you go to penalty kicks. We scored with about 2 minutes left in the first overtime. Aaliyah Granchai had a great run and a good assist from Andorra Porcello. And let's just bring the girls up. We'll talk about that game and the rest of the season coming on up, ladies. Our athletes of the week for our girls soccer team, Haley Reed, Katie Rockwell. Ladies, thanks for being here. There's your certificates. Make sure you get to Dairy Queen. There's no practice today after the big win last night, so maybe you guys can head to Dairy Queen and get your meal deals and your blizzards today. But welcome to the show, girls. Thanks for being here. We'll just start on last night's game. We'll just keep talking about it. 2-1 win over Beechwood last night in overtime. You guys can both answer it. There's no rules here. Okay, there's no wrong answers. You guys can just talk through it. Just how much fun was it to play in a game like that, and how was it nerve-wracking? Let's just talk about the game last night and your thoughts on it.
Well, it was definitely something. It was Going into the game, because we scrimmaged Beechwood over the summer, so going into the game, we're like, oh, like, we're gonna win, we have this, like, whatever. And then it got brought into overtime, and
Yeah.
that's when it was really scary, especially after they scored their one and only goal.
Yeah.
I feel like we started to, like, get really nervous.
Yeah.
And just not play as well as we can. And then overtime hit, and it's just we stepped up and got a goal in.
Okay.
Was you head into overtime? What was the message from Coach? Did he have some inspirational speech to get you guys pumped up, or was he the normal same Coach Stavar?
He was kind of the normal, but he was telling us, like, no, can't get a ball past the 30, like, no shots on goal, like, don't let it happen. Just go out, play your best, try and score, and we'll see where it takes us.
And
That
for
was
you,
good.
Haley, when you hear that kind of message, being a defender, does that add more pressure to you, or just how do you just stay into your game, knowing that you're that last line of defense before it gets to Katie?
Well, it definitely does put pressure on, but I feel like it doesn't add that much because there's already a lot of pressure just being back there.
Yeah.
So I don't really think about it too much. Of course, I take his word of advice, but I usually keep a pretty level head because I have speed behind me, so
Yeah.
I'm never really that nervous.
Okay, and so from your position, Katie, you're playing goalie for the team. Haley, you've sort of found your niche, and we're going to talk about some of the regular season results that we've had as well. But you've sort of started the year, you were up front a little bit, playing forward, and then we had some injuries to the team, and we found, yeah, obviously you're our fastest player, for you and Aaliyah right there, Emma Bartlett. We have speed on this team, so the three of you are probably our fastest players. You've sort of found a home now in the back, and as our center defender in the back, and has played a huge role in that. So how has that transition gone from you, for you, from, you know, sort of playing maybe up front to start the year, and then mid-season making that change and sort of finding your home back there?
It was rough at first
Yeah.
because I didn't know what I was doing.
Sure.
I
New position for you,
Yeah,
right?
I would always ask, like, Polzer's back there with me. I would always ask her, like, you know, what should I be doing right now? And
Yeah.
I would ask questions, but I would just run around for most of the time.
Yeah.
And then as the season went on, we had a really hard schedule, so
We did.
I was getting good practice with good players, so I think that really helped me back then.
And for you having Adriana back there, and also Jocelyn, who we had on last week, is that how have those seniors helped and kind of eased you into that role a little bit, because you have that experience back there with you?
Yeah, it makes me really comfortable knowing that they have like 4 years down. They're very vocal. They always tell me what I need to be doing, so I actually think that really helps.
Were you, Mr. Rocco kind of mentioned, but even in like Pee Wee or rec soccer, were you always a defender, or did you kind of were up front and then this year and midway through the season moved back?
Well, I started playing soccer seriously in 8th grade.
Okay.
So I was always at the front. Well, actually in 8th grade, I played goalie for the year.
Oh.
So I didn't actually start last year, but I played forward when Jordan was there. And then this year, since Emma's injury, I've been playing in the back, so I've been everywhere.
Is it, for some people it might be hard to play defense or take a defensive role and not be, the scorer or, someone up front. Was it difficult to accept that role, or did you just understand that this is what is needed, best interest of the team?
Definitely both. I know that they really need my speed back there, and they think I'm a good player. Necessarily, I don't feel that way because that's not where I'm most comfortable at, and it's been really hard not being up top because that's just where I really want to play there.
Yeah. And when we had some injuries, as we said, so, Emma Bartlett was out for a period of time, and Dora Porcello was out for a period of time. Aaliyah missed a couple of matches. Elena missed a match or two. So we're sort of banged up, and we don't have a huge squad. We have 18 girls on the roster. So we played some matches middle part of the schedule where, we only had 13, 14, people dressed for the game. And I think one reason you guys are both sitting here right now is just, and we'll talk about this, for whatever reason, the second half of the Hawken game at Hawken, right? We're down 3-0 at halftime, and I don't know what happened exactly, or if there was something that the coach said, or you guys came together as a team and just, or maybe it just happened, but we went on a run there from the second half of the Hawken match, where for the next 4 or 5 matches we didn't give up a goal. So we played 9 halves of soccer without giving up a goal. We didn't let Hawkins score in the second half. Lutheran West was a 0-0 tie. We beat Harvey, shut them out. Orange was a 0-0 tie, and Geneva was a 0-0 tie. So we played, really strong defensive soccer for those 9 halves, and I think that's sort of been our calling card this year. You mentioned Jordan. She's now at the University of Kansas scoring goals for the Jayhawks. She's not there to score. We've struggled a little bit there, but we've sort of hung our hat on the defensive side of things. And so how is that unit? I see you guys, you're out there talking together before the game or high-fiving or whatever. How Adriana, Jocelyn, you, anybody else that's playing on the defensive side, how have you guys worked together as a unit to sort of come up with some of those results and sort of be the strength of our team from a defensive side?
That's all you. I can't speak for you.
Well, we definitely bonded a lot this year. I can say that there's a big difference from last year. Last year, the team was pretty quiet. We didn't communicate at all, even if it was just like in practice, just like regular conversation, like, oh, how was your day? Like, we didn't do any of that. So, and I think this year we have a really good bond. I think that's actually made us work better a lot. For the back line, we have a pregame ritual before we go out. We all give each other high fives, and that helps us. And we really trust each other this year.
That's awesome.
And playing off that trust, Katie, for you obviously have to have trust in that entire defense in front of you. So what have you seen and the growth from that position, watching it from as the goalie?
I've seen a lot of growth. Beginning of the season, our defense, we were doing good, but it was just new people in new spots, trying to figure it out. We let a lot of through balls and over the top go through, and then we had a couple of film sessions, and then throughout maybe a couple of games learned how to communicate as one and move as one line and work together. And it's definitely gotten a lot better throughout the season, and I have full trust in them every single time I step on the field, and they always execute it perfectly. So,
what was the toughest shot you faced last night?
Last night they were all basically to me, except the one goal that they scored where it was a free kick outside of the 18. It was a perfect shot. I don't think anyone really could have saved that.
Yeah,
but that was
upper right corner.
Yeah, it was a great shot. Hardest thing. And I couldn't get to it, but all the other ones were not too bad. We had two little upsets in the first half where me and Haley, we didn't communicate as well, and the girl is really fast. She got around both of us. Wide open goal. She ended up missing it, but it was really scary for a second because that would have tied the game up right there. And then 5 minutes later, a penalty kick, which was also really terrifying.
So what was the penalty? The penalty was on you?
Yeah, it was. It shouldn't have been a penalty. She rammed into me and then flopped. I ended up with the ball, so it shouldn't have been it. But the ref was not on our side last night, so I wasn't expecting.
Well, let's not go there.
Okay, well, I wasn't expecting much from it anyways. But
I was going to ask you too about, I guess, your interpretation of that. When you just, like you said, you had the miscommunication. It was obvious, and I think the speed. Was that number 7?
Yeah.
The speed surprised probably both of you. Haley had her back to her, so she couldn't really tell. I think the speed shocked you a little bit, but that was sort of their MO. They're extremely fast team. So what do we need to do to make sure that doesn't happen again?
We just need to communicate better. Throughout the season, that was really the first, or not really first. It's only happened to us a couple of times because usually the teams that we play, they're fast, but they're not that fast. Mm-hmm. And usually I could get to the ball or Haley could get to the ball before them, but it was kind of scary because, they almost tied it, but Going out into the second half, I said, I can't come out of the box anymore. Like, I'm going to get called. The girl's going to get around all of us. Like, we can't let that happen. And then we didn't.
Okay, good.
And as kind of backtrack a little bit, but as that game-winning goal is going down, did you guys, from your view, like, did you know it was going in? Like, did you know she was going to get by? And once Andorra made the pass to Aaliyah, that she was going to score?
Yeah, I had a feeling, and watching, like, from my, like, viewpoint, I couldn't see, like, I could see where the ball is and, like, what was happening, but I couldn't see anything until I saw the net move with the ball, and it was, I don't know, but when Aaliyah gets that ball and she runs and just, everything kind of fell into place right there.
It happened pretty fast. It happened
Yeah.
from a goal kick or something to then Andorra onto Aaliyah, and it was over in a matter of seconds, it seemed.
Yeah.
And going back just a little bit now, sorry, backtracking a little bit, but Coach Staver was on right before the Brookshire game and talked about how important that game was, playing that kind of competition as you guys were getting ready for the postseason. You ended in a 3-3 tie. Does that kind of give you guys a little bit more confidence, saying, our record might not be where we want it to be, but we're hitting our stride at the right time?
Yeah, it definitely gave us a lot of confidence. I mean, we played really well. They have really good players. I mean, University of Dayton commit, and she was really good, and our defense stepped up, did their job. And I think from that point on, we had this confidence that even though, like, we can't score as much, we can still play the defensive game, play the offensive game, and it just falls into place.
Yeah, we put the
with us.
net the ball in the net 3 times that night ourselves, which it doesn't happen a ton, but we beat Riverside 4-1 earlier in the year, so it was great to see, and I think just the confidence of some of our younger players being able to compete. Berkshire was ranked 11th in the state in Division 4. And then we go play Niles McKinley 2 days later. They were ranked 8th in the state in Division 4. And if we win our next match against the Lear Catholic, we'll play Niles McKinley in all likelihood again. And we willingly took that match because it was a 1-0 game against Niles. No offense, Katie. That was an easy goal you let in there. But we're right there. I mean, that's the message is we can compete with those teams. And again, that Berkshire match certainly helped. And then, girls, let's talk about the Madison match. So the first time, I'm not sure if coaches talked about this. I'm just a little curious on this. The first time since 2009 that we beat Madison. What does that mean to you guys? Let's just 2 parts. Did the coaches talk about it at all before the match? Did you guys know it had been that long since we beat? How did you approach that rivalry match with Madison?
We approached it with confidence, but also knowing that they have 2 good players. They can both score, so we knew that we had to step up defensively again. And we also knew that their field is not the best, so we got to adapt to that. And I think we did really well. And Aubrey Hopkins scoring the game-winning goal, it was a lot.
Yeah.
And we're very happy that we beat them. It's been a long time, but we were excited that it happened.
And what have you guys, either of you, seen from Aubrey this year? Because you mentioned that game, and she scored the first goal in last night's game. So as a freshman, how have you seen her game develop?
She has developed a lot. She's definitely stepped up in her sister's old spot.
Yeah.
She's been doing amazing. Does a lot for the team. She's really good at passing, shooting. All in all, she's a really good athlete. And having her addition to the team definitely helped us because of how many people that we lost last year. She's definitely stepped up, done her job, and done really well at it.
Yeah, Adriana Polzer with the assist, the corner kick to Aubrey to get things started last night. Aubrey gets it in that goal. It's sort of a crazy scrum in front of the goal. Adriana had a great corner kick into there, and Aubrey made it happen and got us on the board to get things going.
Yeah, it's a nice, exciting day. As Mr. Rockwell mentioned, off today. When do you guys start prepping for the next match? Is it going to come in practice? Are you guys watching film on your own to get ready? Or is it just kind of, I'm going to take 24 hours and relax a little?
I think it's kind of all over. I mean, we have a week until our next game. We're off today. I think it's a good job to get good at I don't know what I'm saying. Good time to get some recovery going from last night's game because they were a little rough at
It was
least. on
physical.
my-
It was a physical match, right?
yeah.
They were pushing and shoving, and so
Yeah.
were we. And then, again, their speed. I think speed is one of our strengths on this team, and they certainly matched that with some of their players last night. But it's nice having Emma back and Andorra and being at full strength for the postseason. And I think you're seeing it all sort of play out. I mean, Beechwood was 11-2 going into last night's match, and as I said about the regular season, we tied a lot. We have like 5 or 6 ties, which is crazy. You don't see that as much. But we play a tougher schedule, and we play it to try to get ready for matches like that last night. I think it paid dividends, and hopefully it will. We traveled to Elyria Catholic, one stadium I've never been to in my time as an athletic director. So we get to head to Elyria Catholic next Tuesday for a 7:00 p.m. start. That's a district semifinal match. If we're fortunate enough to get through there, we'll play Niles McKinley at a neutral site. It'll actually be at Padua High School where we've played this year, the following Saturday. So lots of excitement right now in girls soccer. Ladies, congratulations on a great win last night, a great win against Madison. I think we're just hitting our peak right now at the end of the year. Before we get you guys out of here, a couple of get to know you questions. And we'll see again, no wrong answers here. We'll start with Haley. Favorite food, Haley?
Probably gotta be steak.
Steak.
I really like steak. Yeah.
Okay. You like to go anywhere for your steak, or you like to do that at home?
Love Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse. Just were there last weekend, so it was. I can't argue with you, Haley. Can't argue at all. Favorite subject in school?
Science.
Science.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite movie, if not a movie, television show or series?
My favorite movie is probably Hacksaw Ridge.
Okay. Good military movie.
Yeah.
Love it. Hobby away from sports or anything you do here at Perry High School.
Well, I don't really do much. Probably just hang out with my friends.
Okay. Awesome.
About it.
Favorite app or game on your phone?
TikTok.
TikTok. That's all right. That's a pretty
That's-
common
yeah.
answer, so that's not. No shame in that. Favorite memory that you're gonna take away from Perry here, whether it's athletics or something, the Washington D.C. trip or whatever it might be. What are you gonna take away from here? What are some of your favorite memories?
I actually think this soccer season.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been one of the best.
Awesome. Great to hear it. Visit any place in the world. Money's not an object. Where are you heading?
Going to Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
All right. Haven't had that
That's
answer
the-
either.
that's
I think
the first
that's a
time.
that's a new one. All right, Katie, your turn. Favorite food?
Probably just Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. Not shocked by that. Favorite subject?
History.
History. Favorite movie or television show series?
Gilmore Girls.
Figured that was coming. Hobbies outside of soccer. You play club soccer. Haley, you play club soccer?
I do
No,
not.
you do not. Okay. I think Drew plays. We've got several players on both the boys and girls side. What do you do? Any hobbies outside of soccer or track or anything else, Katie?
Probably just hang out with my friends.
Okay. Favorite app or game on your phone?
Probably Block Blast or TikTok.
Block Blast.
Okay.
You know that one?
I don't. I'll have to check that one out too.
Okay. Your favorite memory from Perry? Anything across the board? What so far? You are a junior. What are some of your favorite memories?
Probably my freshman year soccer season, especially when Aaliyah won again against Niles McKinley in the playoffs.
That was awesome. So Aaliyah Granchai, she's not long for this show. She'll probably be on here very soon because she's got, in her career, she's got 2 game-winning goals, walk-off, sudden victory goals. One at home against Niles McKinley as a freshman, and then last night at Beechwood. So I would expect to see Aaliyah sitting in these seats here very soon. It was an exciting win last night out at Beechwood as well. Favorite? No, we already did that. Visit any place in the world. Where are you going?
Probably back to Ireland.
Back to Ireland. That's the big talk right now. Okay. All right, ladies, thank you very much for being here. Enjoy your Dairy Queen. Congratulations on a great season so far. You guys are have sort of led the way here defensively, and we've got a great group back there. Best of luck next week at Elyria Catholic, and we'll update everybody as we go. Thanks for being here. All right, yeah, exciting night. Anytime you have a sudden victory, I guess they don't want us to say sudden death anymore, so it's sudden victory, goal, or wrestling match. I'm trying to think of other things where like an overtime type of thing, and the next takedown wins, the next goal wins. It's just an exciting time and very nerve-wracking, I can tell you, as a parent. Taking the AD hat off, I was extremely excited for our team, but it was nerve-wracking night last night watching, because I've known all these girls pretty much a long time, and they really played well last night, and I was happy to see them get the W.
Well, that's what I was going to say earlier, and I didn't want to single anybody out, but now it's like this 27 class is obviously in our wheelhouse.
Yes.
You know these kids, and it's great to get them on here, and not just them, but the entire senior through freshman, and get to know some of these kids, because we know the 27 is probably the best, and it's nice to get some of these other girls, and even like Haley, you get the walk-off win last night. You go back to softball, she was a part of the Elise Strahan walk-off homer to get to
she was a big part of that as a pinch runner, right? If I'm not mistaken. So, and again, just that's her speed that plays into and fills a different role with her speed and her athleticism.
But the good thing, soccer got it started last night on the girls' side at Beechwood. Tonight, the boys play here on Wednesday at Beechwood. Volleyball tomorrow. Football on Friday. So and cross country coming up on Saturday. So an exciting way to end this work week.
It really is, and it's just now we're heavy into that postseason stuff, and so now it's win or go home. And it's pretty much what we've been working for across the board in all of our sports, and we talk about it from the top on down. I talk to my coaches about it. The coaches talk to their athletes about it, and so on. That, hey, we want to be peaking now. This is when we want to be playing our best. And this is what we've sort of put all the work in the regular season to know. Now we're going to go out and play. Whoever we play, we're gonna want to win in advance, and because if not, you're going home and your season's over. So it's an exciting time of year. So yes, come out to volleyball on Thursday. We play at 7 p.m. against Lutheran East. It's our guaranteed last home event that we're for sure gonna have. If Jefferson gets upset on Thursday, we could host again next week, but there's no guarantee that happens. So come on out. It's the last guaranteed time we'll have a home volleyball match. And as they get ready to make their run, again, boys soccer tonight at Beechwood, girls at Elyria Catholic, football at West G on Friday, and our cross-country team down the street in Madison on Saturday.
So even though some of the fall sports are wrapping up, there's still plenty to talk about when we come back next week, and it's just an exciting part of the year as you start to transition into winter as these teams are making their runs.
Yeah, definitely. It's a crazy time of year because it's what's crazy to say is girls basketball starts in like 2 weeks.
Yep.
And here we go. And their first game is November 22nd, I believe. And then we're off and running. And it's just everybody's like, oh, when's the downtime? July.
Yeah, right.
July is the downtime. So because we're gonna transition from one thing to the other. Hopefully. I love it. I hope we're playing a football game on Friday night, the 21st, because it means we're in the regional finals for football, and then winter starts the next day with a girls basketball matchup. So I love it. It's a lot of fun, and looking forward to what happens over the next couple of weeks, and we'll keep everybody updated.
Yeah, so an exciting week and a lot to go on, and we'll be back here next week to kind of rehash it all again and continue this playoff run for many of the fall sports.
Yep, sounds great. Gene, thanks for being here as always, and until next week, week 9 of Walk the Plank, go Pirates.